Okay, so in this video, I'm actually going to show you the user account data file on a Linux machine. So basically, that's a file which stores user account details in it, and the file is in the etc folder. So the way you can see it is you can just type cat /etc/password and hit enter. So you will see like a bunch of data which actually may not make any sense to you right now. Excuse me. Let me just also make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, so this is like a lot of data to explain, but basically what I'm going to explain is basically will apply to all of this data that we see here. So let me just make this a little bit smaller here. Okay, let me just clear this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just grep is just like a filter, just like you do a control F in a Word application to find something. So grep is a similar tool like that to just extract whatever you need to extract from a file. So what we want to do is I'm just gonna grab, so if you remember, actually if you remember the very first line of data is this. So I'm just gonna grab this so I can explain you what each of this means. So let me just come down here, clear the terminal, grab root. Okay, so basically these are basically the column delimited uh, data. So what that means is like this, there's like a 7 columns, each are separated by a colon. So basically what first column represents is the username. So the username is root. This is gonna be it's always gonna show up on the very first line when you take a look of this etc password, this password file. So this first column is the username, and then the second column basically shows if your password is encoded, meaning that your Linux system is using the shadow suite. Back in the olden days, the passwords will be also saved in the etc password file, and any user on the system could access uh, that file, So to enhance the security, the shadow suite is used to keep the passwords in the encrypted format, and only root user can access that file. So now the next column, which is basically a 0 right here, which is column number 3. This is the numeric user ID. So all users on a Linux system, they are also assigned a user ID number. The Linux system in the background it does not recognize the users by their name. It actually uses the user ID number. So the system accounts, the root account usually would have the ID 0, which is what we see here. And the non-admin user accounts on a near Linux distributions, they start at 1000, and the user IDs from 1 to 499 are for the system accounts, and then for non-admin user accounts started at 500. So basically, again, this third column is the user ID number, which is 0 for the root account. Now we are on the column number 4. The column number 4 basically represents or is the numeric ID of the user's primary group, which is also the 0 for the root account or the admin account. And then we come to this fifth column. Fifth column is a comment field. You can basically use it to put a comment there about the user in this field if you wish. By default, it just says root there. And then the sixth column basically is the home. It shows the home directory, So this, since we're looking at the root, so the home directory is /root. And then the seventh column, basically it shows you what shell is assigned to your user account. You can have multiple user accounts on Linux and assign each user a different shell. Shell is just like a command line we have on Windows, which is basically an interpreter on which you type commands, and it will interpret those commands for you. I'll show you how to see the available shells on your Linux system as well. So I'm actually gonna give you another example. So let's just clear this. Let's just cat the etc password file again. And you can see like I'm using the user account Kali, and this is the last one right here. So again, the very first column represents your user account, username, and the second shows if your password is saved in the etc shadow file, or in other words, like it's in an encrypted format, which is what by default is on all newer Linux distributions. And the third column again is for the numeric user ID, and as I have explained earlier, on a newer systems, non-admin user accounts, they start at 1000, and as you can see here, it does start. This is Kali is not an admin, it's a non-admin user account, so that's why it's starting from 1000. And if you will if I were to create more accounts, non-admin user accounts, they'll start from 1001, 1002, etc. And then again, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth column, is for the numeric ID for the user group. And again, this is the fifth column, is used for comment. Again, you can put any comment here for your user account. You can configure it. I'm not going to show you in this video, but you can do that. That's what this column is for. And again, this is the home directory for this account, and this is the shell this account is assigned to run. And if you run pwd, you can see this home directory is matches with this command pwd. Basically, I think it stands for the path of working directory. So this is the directory we are in right now. So, and this is the home directory, and I wanted to show you I hope like this etc password file is somewhat clear to what all this data means. Here again, if you can put like this is the user account, and then this is X tells you that the password is stored on a system in an encrypted format. This is the numeric user ID for the username. This is again the numeric user group ID, and this is just like a comment you can put there. This is basically that, like this is a perfect example. This is like a service in Linux. These services are called daemons. So this is a user account, a service user. This comment tells us like that this account is a service account for some type of an audio device, audio software, and this is the home directory of this service account, and this is the shell. This user account doesn't have any shell assigned to it. Some user accounts, this is a service account, so it won't be running any commands in the shell anyways, so that means that there's no shell assigned to it. So I hope the data in this file is somewhat clear to you now and what it means. Lastly, I want to show you the how to see the available shells on your Linux. Command for that is basically cat, let's see, and shells, and you can see here valid login shells. So you have this is usually the bash is usually the default shell on many of the Linux distributions such as CentOS and Ubuntu, the ones that I have used, and right now on Kali Linux this is being used as a default shell. This is all configurable. You can choose whichever shell you want to use or make a default on your system wide, or you can assign a specific shell to a specific user account. That would be a topic in a different video, maybe perhaps in the future. Okay, I hope this video was informative and will teach you something. And thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends who are interested, and stay safe. Bye bye.